Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Elle if you're new here, and if you're not, thanks so much for coming back and hanging out with me today. So I haven't done a makeup review that wasn't like a first impressions or in a beauty empties format in a long time, but I just needed to pop on and tell you guys about this. It was new. I feel like maybe like a year ago or maybe more, and everybody was reviewing the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. And I've had this for a little while. I actually have it in 2 different shades. And I just wanted to tell you guys all about it because it has been like life-changing, and I feel like now that I've been using it for a while, as you can tell, it's like over halfway gone. The packaging is gorgeous. Look at this bottle. It's a little dirty because we'll get handprints on it, but like the pattern is just amazing and that matches the box. It's super pretty, so I wanted to share a quick review on this with you guys. The Urban Decay All Nighter Liquid Foundation, it says it is full coverage, long wear, matte finish, waterproof, and oil-free. You get an ounce. I believe this is $40, and you can get it at Sephora or Ulta or Urban Decay's website, wherever you normally buy Urban Decay stuff. They've been one of my favorite makeup brands pretty much since I started wearing makeup, so Urban Decay and I go way back, and I was just so excited that they came out with this foundation for oily skin because I was having issues finding a good foundation I could wear on an everyday basis, but also for going out that wouldn't break up and look nasty on me after a while. So on the bottle it says it's matte finish, oil-free, full coverage. I didn't really specifically need a full coverage foundation. Sometimes I go more medium if I'm gonna do foundation. I don't really want a light coverage, but not necessarily heavy full coverage either. This was something new for me to try that I was not used to. Oil-free matte finish, and I am reviewing it to you guys today after wearing it for 9 hours, including being at work, running around, sweating a little bit. So I have not touched it up at all. Normally I would add a little powder, so if I'm a little oily in my forehead area and like this part of my cheek. I also do have a little bronzer that has some shimmer in it and highlight on as well. So that's like what this is, but kind of around my nose. Not bad today. Actually, it did really well today. A lot of times it wears off on my nose, probably because I'm rubbing it or blowing it because I've been sick so much lately, but it held up really, really well today. I'm gonna do an even closer shot in a second, but even on my chin, it's fading a little bit. It's a little more red, so I wanted to kind of do a post-wear review with you guys and check in, and I'm also going to do a little demo of what it looks like before I have it on, so you know what my face actually looks like, and then how much full coverage there really is there. I'd say it's about an 8.5, 9 in terms of full coverage. Sometimes I do go over certain areas twice, like my cheeks, I guess, are really red and rosy. It doesn't cover there as well, or the tip of my nose, because I know it's going to wear off. I did kind of 2 layers of it today, and then I set it with my Milani powder foundation, Even Touch powder foundation in the shade 1 Shell, which is almost gone. I don't feel like this mattifies a ton, but it does help to set. So I'm gonna read to you from the box. You just have to shake well before using it, and it says, the ultimate foundation for a flawless looking complexion. This waterproof formula provides complete coverage that lasts all day or all night with a modern matte finish that never looks overdone. I do really, really like the finish. When you first put it on, it's not too shiny. I'd say it's about like this level, and then I put on powder. It's even more matte, but it's a little too matte at first with the powder, and it kind of wears down throughout the day. So even though it is a matter finish, I do always set my face makeup. I'm going to be wearing it a while. It's just habit at this point. Helps really lock it in, keep the shine from coming through, even if it's a matte finish foundation. You always do get a tiny bit of sheen, so just do that. It says, achieve a blown out effect you never thought possible for skin that looks amazing and stays that way. Perfect for all night affairs and other scandalous activities. This revolutionary formula is also comfortable enough for everyday wear. We loaded this full coverage foundation with such an insane amount of pigment that a little goes a long way. That's true. It has a pump, which is really nice. Makes this easy to travel with, and I usually only do 1 pump, sometimes 1.5 if I'm going over certain areas twice, or if my sponge is just like seems to be soaking up all the product that day, then I'll apply it with my Real Techniques, super dirty, what is this called? I always forget, the kind of dupe for the beauty blender. So that's how I apply it. It says there's no need to build your coverage or apply multiple layers, and I find that sometimes it gets cakey if you do that. I wouldn't go over the whole face twice, but like I said, sometimes you need a little extra in some spots, but then it covers perfectly. Light diffusing pigments blur flaws for beautifully perfected skin, while high-tech ingredients mattify and absorb oil to reduce the appearance of shine. Choose from a wide range of meticulously calibrated shades for your most perfected complexion. Shake well, then buff on with one of their brushes. So mine's in the shade 2.0, and usually I'm like the lightest shade in foundation. So these actually go up by half shades. I think there's a 0.5, 1, and 1.5. So the fact that there's shades below this, below my shade, is incredible. I think 2 fits me pretty well. It's almost a little too pale, so I do add bronzer on top. And then through Octoly, I also got shade 2.5, but it's a little too dark. I think it'll be good in summer though, when I like am outside more and have slight more of a tan, then I won't need as much bronzer. Slash, I think if I mixed both, which I haven't tried yet, then it would be like the perfect shade. This is almost too pale, and when I was using this in like the early fall, I think people were telling me it looked a little pale, but now that it's winter, that's just my face. So usually I'm very pale. So the fact that there's a lot of light shades to choose from is good. I think these go pretty dark too. I think there's quite a few shades in this. I think there are quite a few, so there's like a good amount to choose from, and I like that there's half steps of shades so that you can find one that actually fits you really well. I have cool undertones and this works really well. I think it's kind of like a more neutrally shade. So I've actually been super happy with it. I'm so picky with foundation. Before this, what was I using? The Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 that everyone was freaking out about. And I have a whole video on that if you want to see that. I will link it down below, and some other foundation videos. And I feel like I was doing so many foundation first impressions videos and they were all like kind of fails. The Milani was pretty good, but it'd break up, and this one stays in place a lot better. The only thing I have to watch out for is it will sink into my smile lines. I'll have to kind of blend it out, put on more powder. It's not too bad today. It's not too cakey. It just came off on my chin more than usual, and then I will get it on like lip lines. So I don't know if you can see that. I think I blended them out a tiny bit right before I filmed this because I was filming other things. I didn't want it to look ridiculous before I did this check in with you guys, but yeah, it's really easy to blend it back in. So those are the only complaints, with settling into lines, and then sometimes it breaks up on my forehead a little bit. You can kind of see some redness through it, or on my nose. And then if you try to like blend it in, if you're out and about, it just is a mess. You kind of just have to leave it be, or I'll blot with like toilet paper in an emergency. But it holds up pretty stinking well compared to a lot of foundations. It's not perfect. It's still not where I want it to be, and those touch-ups are kind of annoying. The way it settles into lines is not my favorite, but I think the shade match is pretty freaking good. Probably the best I've had in a foundation for a long time. The wear is probably the best of a foundation I've ever used. I've been obsessed with it. It really, really airbrushes your skin. Like, the coverage is amazing, but I don't think it looks too fakey, and I get compliments on it all the time. My best friend in particular, whenever we go out and I'm wearing this, she will say that my skin looks amazing, and I'm like, no, it's the foundation. Even if I'm breaking out a lot, this will cover it and just makes your skin look absolutely perfect. Even after 9 hours, it still is looking good to me in the viewfinder. You'll have to let me know what you think, but I've been really, really impressed with this, and it's probably the most I've spent on a foundation in a while, but it has proved to be worth it. I really, really like it. You really don't go through it that quickly. I've probably been using this on a probably 4 to 5 times a week basis, because I don't wear makeup every single day, but I've been using this a ton, especially lately. If I'm doing a full glam, I will absolutely use this, but you can also use it on an everyday basis. This is more of an everyday look for me, but like an extended version, like more glammed up. I spent more time on my makeup today than I would if I was in a rush. So I feel like I can apply this really quickly. It blends in really nice, but I do feel like I have to allow a couple minutes extra time in my routine just to wet my sponge and make sure it's perfectly blended. But it blends like a dream compared to other foundations that feel like they're dragging. This just melts into your skin. You just bounce it in with the sponge. It's great. thing that's kind of a pain with this is you have to allow a lot of extra time when you're taking off your makeup at night. I'll use a makeup removing wipe and there's still so much left over. I'll use a toner and then there's still so much foundation left over on the pad afterwards. I will wet a face cloth and go over my face with that, and there will still be foundation coming off of me and onto the towel. So I like to use more of a liquid makeup remover or micellar water with this to get everything off, and then a kind of a cream toner go over again. So it makes my taking off of my makeup process a few steps longer. So it's kind of impressive like how much staying power this stuff really has, but it's pretty amazing. I would very highly recommend it if you have oily to combination skin. Even this time of year, the combination side of my skin really comes out, and I had some dry patches in like up here a little bit after I put on the powder. But I also today, I should mention, I also have a setting spray on, this Scandinavia makeup finishing spray. I also have a whole video on these, cruelty free. So I did use this setting spray. So after you put on powder, that also helps to make your skin look not so like terrifyingly fakey matte. It helps to kind of blend it all together. So my dry spots really didn't look bad once I used the finishing spray, and once this has worn a little bit, a little more oil has come through. So been super impressed with this. I've been telling friends about it whenever they compliment my skin. It just makes me feel like a porcelain doll, basically. So highly recommend this if you're in the market for a fuller coverage foundation, or that's what you like on an everyday basis. I don't need like super full coverage, but my skin is pretty red and discolored. Thank you, that like 10% Irish I am that takes over 100% of my face and makes it very red without makeup at all times. Thank you, Irish genes. That's like the one thing that they did to contribute to me, I feel like, is make my face red. No offense to anyone if you're super Irish. Okay. All right, here's the close-up. It rubbed off on my chin. I don't know why, but so up close, the texture isn't super great. I can't believe I'm putting this on the internet. You can see kind of the lines it settles into there. And yeah, forehead actually looks really good compared to how much redness is normally there, and you can't really see the dry spots. So here's what the texture after wearing it for 9 hours. That's crazy that it still looks presentable and I can still get on camera after working this long. With any other foundation, it would have broken up like Pangea, and you'd be able to see like all these like redness cracks coming through. So this is like pretty good as far as my foundation experience has been. But yeah, it gets a little glowy and sheeny after you've been wearing it for a while, and I think it looks pretty stinking natural for how much of a difference it makes when you first put it on. It's pretty dramatic. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know if you want to see more of these, not a first impressions, just kind of talking about a beauty product. I hope they are helpful. This is the kind of video I look up when I want to know whether to buy something. So I hope it helps if you have a similar skin type to me, or kind of skin concerns, pale person problems, or it's really hard to find a line that fits you. Thanks to Octoly for hooking me up with my other shade of this. I bought this one on my own, and then Urban Decay had sent me another one, and as I said, they're one of my favorite brands, so I'm so like over the moon that they agreed to work with me. So thanks to Urban Decay. All opinions are my own though, and honest, even though I did get that other one as a PR sample. Let me know if you've tried this or what foundations you like down below. Let's chat in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to join our GlamBAM fam, and I will see you guys in my next video. 3, 2, 1, bam!